Hi, my name is Alison Faye Shelley, and I'm auditioning for Jessica from Tales from the Lost Side. I'm 5'2". I live in Los Angeles, California, 90064. I'm in my mid-20s. Favorite Twilight Zone episode? I'm gonna have to go with the episode where it's getting very hot outside. It's getting hotter and hotter. And everybody's freaking out. The guy breaks into the apartment and he starts stealing things and threatening people because he's having his own problems. And later you find out that it's actually only a dream, but that it's freezing outside. And I think it's an interesting parallel to what's actually happening in our own climate right now. And I think that science fiction in general has a habit of being able to do that. For instance, how in a lot of Philip K. Dick novels he talks about technology that we now have that he wrote about many years ago. So I think that's very interesting, and that's why I like that episode. Most embarrassing moment as of recently, because I'm sure I've had a lot of embarrassing moments, but this is the one that comes most to mind since it just happened. I was taking an acting class with some casting directors, and we were doing an improv exercise where, one person's the host and everybody else comes in as guests. And I received my card as a guest, and I was to choose my favorite superhero. So I came in balls to the wall, Catwoman. I'm, clawing on the walls, and I'm crawling on the floor, and I'm just meow and cracking a whip. And basically they ended up having to stop the game completely because of me. I thought it was sort of like taboo where you're not supposed to say certain things like Batman or the Penguin. Because then, right, it would be too easy. It would give it away. Like, of course I was Catwoman, But I sort of assumed that that was not what we were supposed to do. So I misunderstood the rules and kind of made a fool of myself by writhing around on the ground. And it was pretty embarrassing, especially when you're doing that in front of a bunch of casting directors when you'd love for them to take interest in you. And yeah, so that was very embarrassing. My favorite film is The Nightmare Before Christmas, which I know might sound kind of childish, but honestly, it's one of the most artistically driven films that I've ever seen. It took them a long time to actually make the film. Stop motion animation is a real art form that most people don't explore anymore. So I really respect that. I also think that the score is phenomenal. Danny Elfman is a genius. He also sang the songs as Jack Skellington. So I think that that's really cool. And I love Catherine O'Hara. So also another bonus for The Nightmare Before Christmas. And I think it's a really interesting film, especially for kids, to enlighten them that, not everything that seems scary is really, dark or dangerous. That maybe it's just a little misunderstood. And that's really what I took away from that film as a child. They meant well. The characters meant well, even though they themselves were kind of dark and scary. They were just trying to make a nice Christmas, but they didn't know how. So I think it's a very endearing tale. And I guess that's it. I think I've answered all of the questions that I was meant to answer. And I hope to hear from you soon. My phone number is 732-600-5809. And my email address is alisonfshelley@gmail.com. And yeah, I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you so much for your consideration, and good luck with your project.